Now, students, topic of today is adsorption. Very important topic, adsorption. So first we should know what is adsorption. Adsorption is the accumulation or concentration of the adsorbate on the surface of adsorbent. That is, one term has used here accumulation or concentration of adsorbate at the surface of adsorbent, So this is very important. Two words used here, adsorbate and adsorbent. So again I am repeating, what is adsorption? It is the accumulation or concentration of adsorbate on the surface of the adsorbent. I will explain this phenomenon with the example. First example you can write just now. I discussed that the control of the humidity. Control of the humidity. How? One term I have used there, silica gel. Silica gel absorbs the water vapor. So silica gel is the adsorbent and water vapor is the adsorbate, and the whole phenomenon is known as the adsorption. The whole phenomenon is known as the adsorption. Again I am telling you, what is adsorption? Adsorption is the accumulation or concentration of the adsorbate at the surface of the adsorbent. So, for controlling of the humidity, silica gel is used as the adsorbent and the water vapor is used as the adsorbate. Okay. Next is the second example I have given. NH3, ammonia or hydrogen gas, adsorbs on the surface of charcoal. On the surface of charcoal. So, students, tell me, which is the adsorbate and which is the adsorbent? Ammonia gas or hydrogen gas. It acts as the adsorbate and charcoal acts as the adsorbate. Charcoal acts as the adsorbent and ammonia or hydrogen gas acts as the adsorbate. So adsorption is related with the two terms. One is the adsorbate, another is the adsorbent. And there is the boundary between the two. Between the two, adsorbate and adsorbent, and between the two there is the boundary. There is the boundary or surface. There is the boundary or surface. The adsorbate and adsorbate. That is there are two terms. Okay, students. So adsorption is the phenomenon where adsorbate adsorb on the surface of the adsorbate. Okay. So first topic of this chapter is adsorption, and in the chapter of adsorption, in the topic of adsorption, that is the subtopics. First is the definition. This is the definition. Second is the example, and in the example we explain the two terms. One is the adsorbate, another is the adsorbent. Another is the adsorbent. So students, just you keep in mind 2 minutes on the definition of adsorption, definition of adsorbate, and definition of the adsorbent. So, charcoals, ammonia, hydrogen is the adsorbate. Now, the students, one term I want to clear, that is desorption. Everybody understood the concept on adsorption. I am sure that everybody understood. Now the next term I have written desorption. What is desorption? Desorption means the process of removing an adsorbate from the surface of the adsorbent. In the phenomenon of adsorption, we have seen that is adsorbate adsorb on the surface of adsorbent, on the surface of adsorbent, like as this is the adsorption, this is the adsorption, that is dot symbol, these are the adsorbate, and the surface of adsorbent is given an adsorbate adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbate. Now desorption is the removal of adsorbate from the surface of the adsorbate. Removal of adsorbate from the surface of the adsorbate. So this is desorption. This is desorption. So what is desorption? Again I am telling, it is the process to remove the adsorbate from the surface of the adsorbent. Now clear? Okay students? You are good students. I think you understood. Next is the absorption. That was the adsorption. That was the adsorption, but I am explaining now the absorption. What is absorption? Absorption is the phenomenon in which one substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk. It is the phenomenon where one substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk, not the surface. As for example, the anhydrous calcium chloride, anhydrous calcium CaCl2, it absorbs AB, not D. It absorbs water vapor like this. That is I have drawn here. It is the bulk, and here the water vapor absorbed in the bulk of the anhydrous calcium chloride. So water vapors are absorbed by the anhydrous calcium chloride. Whereas in the adsorption phenomenon, the silica gel absorbs water vapor. Silica gel absorbs, this is silica gel absorbs water vapor. This is water vapor. This is water vapor. And water vapor absorbed at the surface of the silica gel. But here, the anhydrous calcium chloride absorbs water vapor. This is the difference between the adsorption and absorption. So, one question is very, very important on this topic, students. I will do one thing. When I will finish any topic related that topic, which question is important for the examination, I will discuss. First of all, we have discussed today the adsorption. So what is the important question? Define adsorption. Give example. What is adsorbate? What is adsorbent? And now, in this topic, one question is very, very important, students. You write the difference between the adsorption and absorption. So first point you have to write absorption B. Absorption is the bulk phenomenon. B for bulk. Absorption is the bulk phenomenon. But adsorption is the surface phenomenon. Adsorption is the surface phenomenon. So this is very important point. Now give the example of absorption and give the example of the adsorption. Okay students? Next I am going the topic, that is the term sorption. What is sorption? Now we have learned that is adsorption and absorption. When the both processes, that is adsorption and absorption, takes place simultaneously, then the phenomenon is known as the sorption. What is sorption? That is both processes taking place. One is the adsorption, another is the absorption. As for examples, certain dyes get adsorbed and absorbed on the fibers, resulting the absorption. Certain dyes that is get adsorption and absorption on the fibers, resulting the absorption. Now, I will explain important things of this topic, mechanism of adsorption. Now, I think everybody understands the phenomenon adsorption, desorption, absorption. Now, what is the mechanism of adsorption? Why absorption takes place? I have drawn here, that is different particles present here. This particle is the particles at the surface, S for surface, and this particles, that is particles at the bulk B, and this is surrounded by, that is there above one particle, this side particle, downward direction particles, that is this particle is surrounded by the particles on all sides, and the force acting on it balance, that is this force balanced by this force. So the resultant force on this bulk is 0. But when the particle present at the surface, it is not surrounded by its own kind from all sides. In the downward direction, this is the particle. This side, this is the particles. But there is no particle this side. There is no particle in the upper side. So, the particle at the surface possesses an unbalanced residual attractive force. So this particle possesses unbalanced residual attractive force, and this attractive force is responsible for attracting the particle of the adsorbent. This is the particle of the adsorbent at the surface, and this possesses an attractive force, and this attractive force is responsible for attracting the particle of the adsorbent. So this is the mechanism of the adsorption, and absorption why takes place, the answer students, the residual force or attractive force or unbalanced force on the surface particle is responsible for the attracting of the adsorbent on its surface, because it experiences the unbalanced or residual force, because it is not surrounded by its own kind particles from all the sides. This side no particle is present, this side no particle is present, and this unbalanced force is responsible for attracting the adsorbent particles. Now, suppose if you dip the chalk in ink kept in a beaker, you will see that is the blue color on the surface of the chalk. So there are two substances, one is the chalk, another is the blue color. I am telling that is the surface of the chalk. It means that it becomes blue. It becomes blue now. So blue ink adsorbent and white chalk is the adsorbent, and in white chalk now the white chalk surface that is blue. White chalk is the adsorbent, blue ink is the adsorbent, and the phenomenon is the adsorption. So the surface of the chalk now becomes the blue. So blue ink is the adsorbate which adsorbed at the surface of the chalk, and it is the adsorbent. So this is the mechanism of the adsorption. Okay students, to up to this, but few questions I am giving you as an assignment. As an assignment we have to do. So write the 5 questions on this topic students. First question you write, what is adsorption? What is adsorption? What is adsorption? Okay. Next, define adsorbate, adsorbent, desorption, adsorption. For definition, one is the adsorbate, adsorbent, desorption and adsorption. Question number 3. Write the difference of adsorption and absorption. And question number 4. Explain the mechanism of the adsorption. That I have explained now. So I think everybody understood. You write this 4 questions answer and now. Okay, good students.